Former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani on Wednesday said Nigeria's democracy still has a long way to go. Sani said there is so much hunger and hardship in the country amid the Democracy Day celebration. He was reacting to Tinubu's Democracy Day promise that his reforms would be fruitful. Tinubu had said the reforms he had initiated are intended to create a stronger, better foundation for future growth. There is no doubt the reforms had occasioned hardship, yet there are necessary repairs required to fix the economy over the long run so that everyone has access to economic opportunity, fair play and compensation for his endeavor and labor. Now, reacting to this, Sani wrote on his social media handle, "There is so much hardship and hunger in the land. The earlier the reforms bear fruit and end the aggravating poverty in the land, the better, safer and more peaceful our country will become." Now, former Kaduna Central Senator, that's Shehu Sani, stated this. Shehu Sani had some other things that he mentioned, but let's take a look at this particular point. Now, remember that the president had made this statement during the Democracy Day celebration, that his reforms will be fruitful. Nigerians should just be patient with all of the biting effects of these reforms. And now Shehu Sani has made his own remark on that. So let's get your point on this.
Yes, the distinguished Senator Shehu Sani has spoken well, reminding all of us, particularly Mr. President, of the economic hardship in the land. I'm sure Mr. President is not unaware. He's aware. Most times I tend to ask very many who have occupied our elective positions. For instance, our distinguished senator, with all due respect, I want to believe that himself has got some investment that has addressed the issue of unemployment that helps to reduce the economic hardship of his people. I don't want to talk about Nigeria as a whole. Now, if that is the case, he is right to speak. But if he has not done anything to alleviate the economic hardship of his people, because I know he has benefited from government, he has.
In what way?
As a former senator.
Okay.
So I believe that the little he had from government, he should have invested in maybe providing pure water company or maybe a cassava production farm or rice farm in his locality where his people can be employed to reduce the economic hardship. In other words, I'm trying to say that the reduction of economic hardship is everybody's responsibility, especially those who have benefited or who are benefiting from government. For instance, I've advocated recently, which is my appeal, my own democracy appeal and request to Mr. President and all the governors. Every three months, for governors in the northern Nigeria, at least 500,000 to all the citizens of your states. In that month that you are sharing the 500,000 naira, it's part of your social responsibility. We're talking about reduction and handling the economic challenges.
We're talking about 62,000 naira that state governors have said they cannot pay.
It's interest.
Some state governors. And now you're saying that they should pay not just the workers, but every citizen or resident.
Yes, of course.
Which of them?
Citizens or resident,
okay,
anyone
so
that is applicable.
Every resident about 500,000 naira in 3 months when they have stated that they cannot pay 62,000 naira. What happens to infrastructure development in those states? When
we talk about infrastructure, the infrastructure is for who? We have been hearing about infrastructure since when I was born.
We've not been seeing.
They have been producing roads. Say we are doing road, yet we say have bad roads. Is there anything that as citizens we are enjoying free, apart from the free air that God Almighty is giving to us?
But you have said that the president has given us hope, so we should hold
That's
on
what I'm trying to say. We are talking about solutions right now, based on distinguished Senator Sani's presentation, and which we know that we all are having economic hardship. It's not that we do not have money. There are government, state government today that their IGRO and allocation is still up to 50 billion naira every month. So you can't tell me there is no money. So my suggestion is the money that we are generating or allocated to our state is our money. So we can decide the way we want it to be used.
So nothing, everything should be on standstill.
It's not on standstill. I have a suggestion.
Should be
no, I have a suggestion. If in the northern Nigeria, every state, the governor gives 500,000 in every 3 months, if it would slow down the pace of the road, my dear sister, you need to have food and have your economic lifestyle okay for you to know that there is good road. If you are sick, you will spend money going to the hospital. You will pay. The light you have, the power you have, is not free.
Let's not forget that when we talk about development in a state or in a country, we're also looking at various sectors. We're looking at funding education. We're looking at the government funding health. We're looking at, so you're saying that the government should no longer fund health.
Can I say something?
Hold on, please. The government should no longer fund health at that time, since the people's stomach is more important.
No.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
What are you funding every month in the health sector? Are you building hospital every month? My advocacy is, for instance, this month of June, as you generate the revenue, for instance, in the southern Nigeria, in River State, if our IGRO is 35 billion naira, plus allocation, maybe 10 billion naira, that is 45 billion naira. Even if you give to all of us, all the citizens, 1 million naira, you still have more than enough. Yes, so
when they are saying, even without doing that, they're already saying there's no much money to fund.
No.
But let's also look at, I know that's an argument now, but let's also look at this particular story now, right? How much is the government doing, the federal government now, how much is the federal government doing to cushion the effect of these reforms that Tinubu has told us will bear fruit in the future?
You see, when they talk about reform, I think the emphasis of Shehu Sani is on the economic reform, because it talks about hardship, right? And I think that's the crux of discussion. Now, if the federal government is judiciously allocating funds to states, it behoves on the state governors to now see what is best for their citizens. It's not the responsibility of the federal government.
Does it mean the federal government does not have any responsibility?
No, the federal government have schemes. The president have told you that the economic reforms in no distant time will be very fruitful.
So before it is fruitful, the president has already told us, which you stated, that the president is aware of the biting effects of these reforms on Nigerians. We have various stories, go to the news, you see different stories talking about increase in the prices of goods and services.
Good. Now
we have the fuel subsidy that the president announced has been taken off, has had ripple effects on the people. Now the question is, concerning these biting effects that the people are facing at the moment while we are waiting for these reforms to bear fruit, is the president, how much is the federal government doing to cushion the effects?
You see, when we talk about federal government, we should not exclude states.
No, we're going to come there.
You see, the
focus now is federal government.
You see, when we talk about government, federal government, is the 36 states, including FCT, that makes up the federal government of Nigeria.
So how much is the federal government
now,
doing?
on the issues of subsidy, we are aware that there was sort of allocations to states to cushion the issue of fuel subsidy. And then you see some states, they will bring out 2-3 buses on the road in a population of 10-20 million persons. So sometimes I don't really understand what our leaders are taking the citizens for. If you have, like I advocate here, if you have 20 billion naira it is for our economic, relief. We don't say put bus on the road. We are not saying you should go and build what we don't understand. We are talking about how we will feed. We are talking about how our life will be better until we come out from this general arrangement of the government. So if this 20 billion naira is for our economic relief, Mr. Governor, devise a means of sharing the money. We are not saying buy car and put on the road. For who to use?
Okay, so let me rephrase that now. What steps do you think the federal government has taken to reduce the biting effect of these reforms?
Now,
the hunger, the hardship in the land, the increased prices of goods and services, transportation, all of that.
Well,
what are the steps you think that, or you know that the federal government has taken?
I am not here to hold brief for the government. I'm not working for government. The way the economy is biting is also affecting me.
Oh, really?
That's why my submission is, whether to federal government or state government or now, because all the economic policies, all the economic reforms, all the economic agendas is not visible. So because it's not visible on the citizens, that's why we are advocating that the money that we generate in every three months is economic relief, right? Give to your citizens. For northern Nigerians, 500,000. For southern Nigeria, 1 million in three months. So you cannot be building flyover. You cannot be building a railroad.
Okay, with the statement that these reforms will bear fruit with time, Nigerians should be patient. Do you agree?
Why we are patient?
Do you agree with the statement?
We cannot say that we will not be patient.
Looking at the reforms now, the removal of fuel subsidy, increase in price of electricity, and some of all those other reforms that have been on ground recently with this administration, do you agree with the president's statements that we should be patient, that it will bear fruit in the future? Do you see them bearing fruit in the future?
Mr. President is entitled to his opinion.
And you're also entitled to
yours. In my opinion, I don't really think, though I'm not the author of that opinion, but the way our government is being run.
Okay, you don't think it will bear fruit in the future?
Yeah, so let us give us the seed to plant.
You don't think
I don't think in my own understanding.
Yes, sure,
so instead of you, while you are investing in the area that you know, give Nigerians the seed.
So if you don't feel that it will bear fruit in the future, like you have stated, you don't think so, then on what grounds did you stand on when you told Nigerians in your speech to be patient and be hopeful? Take up the hope that the president has given. We are sure that, like he has said, we're going to get there. No,
I was always trying to say that the speech of Mr. President is the best that he could offer.
No, you said that it's on hope, right? And this is a hopeful
of course. So
administration. So Nigerians should be hopeful, like the president has.
Yes, and we are now discussing issues of Nigeria,
which this is also a part of. So if you feel that these reforms, back to that, will not bear fruit, then how come you believe that we should also believe in what the president has said and be hopeful concerning the production of the produce of
the speech of Mr. President is all-encompassing. It was not only on economy, but here in this table we are talking about the economic reform.
We're talking about
the subject matter.
The challenges Nigerians are facing. This story talked about the reforms, right? And the president saying, after a while, Nigerians just be patient. It will be fruitful. And then Shehu Sani has come out to say, we cannot wait for those reforms to be fruitful. And you now have said you don't believe that those reforms will be fruitful from your analysis. Are you changing your stance on that?
I'm not saying... I said that Mr. President is entitled to his opinion.
We're talking about your opinion
Yes,
now.
And I said in my own opinion that I don't believe
in those reforms.
Not all the reforms.
Okay, tell us the reforms.
The economic reform I'm talking about. I'm trying to key in with Senator Sani to say that there should be immediate relief. That's the area I'm buying in with Senator Sani. I said, Mr. President, the speech is possible, but in my own understanding.
Which of the reforms do you not see being fruitful? Let's talk about
the economic reform.
Okay, which of them are you making reference?
The economic reform is you do not wait for Nigerians to die, and then you are waiting for fruitfulness of a reform, whereas you have what it takes. You see, sometimes we want to practice what we are not prepared for. That's the problem that we have. We want to copy America, that their structures and their arrangements, their governance arrangement, their standard has a foundation. Here we are still struggling with foundation. And you are talking about fruitfulness. We are very hopeful, very hopeful. But what we are saying is that if we are going to be eating fried rice in 3 years' time, based on the economic, the reforms of the federal government, can you be giving us rice with palm oil for now?